Hey everyone, I wanted to try my hand at doing a knife review. Now, I want to caveat one thing right out of the gate, which is that I am not a knife expert. There are a lot of knife YouTube channels out there where the guys that are reviewing them are far more knowledgeable than I am on steel, on quality, on brands, on all of this stuff. But nevertheless, we've got a James brand Barnes, the Barnes knife right here. This is about a $700 knife. And ultimately, what I wanted to do was compare it to a Benchmade, which, yes, I know they are not in the same price bracket, but compare it to this Benchmade and then just ultimately determine if it is, in fact, a worthy knife to get. I've recently discovered that James brand knives in general do not hold a very good reputation. They're kind of considered the gas station knives that are like, basically just being promoted by all these, boutiques like Huckberry and some of these other companies, but ultimately the quality stinks. However, the Barnes knife is made by a company called Rayot, which does hold a good reputation. So it's, even though this is James brand's elite knife, it is also made by somebody else and ultimately made by a good company. So first things first, both of these knives have the M390 steel, which is, to my understanding, the M390 steel is kind of the gold standard for fantastic steel. And the reason why is because it holds a good blade, holds a good edge. It's durable. It's got some good stainless properties. Ultimately, it's just a quality steel to use on a blade. That said, that's about where these two knives, that's the similarities where they sort of stop. This one is made from titanium, whereas this one is made from aluminum aircraft, or aluminum aircraft material. So I am not actually the biggest fan of this Benchmade. So for starters, it is to my understanding that a good quality knife is first off, this is very lightweight, and I really do like the form factor and the size and all that stuff, but it is to my understanding that a good quality knife should be able to sort of like flop back on its own when you go to release it, and this Benchmade just doesn't do that. The bearings in here, which I don't know if you can kind of see that there, the bearings in here I guess just aren't really all that good. Whereas by the way, this is, if I didn't say this is the bug out from Benchmade. Whereas on this James brand knife, if you hold this, the little thumb piece here, if you hold that down goes the blade. Now, I do think it's kind of cool that they position that thumb release right where the end of the blade would basically hit your finger, so you're really not in any kind of danger of hurting yourself when you release the blade. But that said, even though this knife is bigger and a little bit heavier than the Benchmade, I do like this knife more, but it's definitely not worth $700. This clip is awesome. I love the quality of the clip. You can change out the clip if it breaks. There's like a little screw in here. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little screw right there that allows you to change out the clip if necessary. Obviously, you can do away with the paracord if you want. This thing is definitely a beast. It's rugged and it's made well. But there are some chief complaints about it that I have. For example, this is supposed to be a one-handed knife. However, if you try to one-hand flip with the little nub here at the top, then it makes doing it with one hand kind of hard. So like here, I'll do it with my index fingers. It makes opening up the blade with one hand a little bit on the difficult side. I don't know, it just doesn't seem quite as easy or intuitive. I'm not sure. And then, I guess I do like the fact that it doesn't have a slide release. There's a little indentation here, I guess, to kind of get better grip on the blade if you wanted to with your hand. But yeah, I don't know. Ultimately, it's a good blade. I don't think it's worth what they're asking, but I think that's kind of the consensus with this James blade regardless. So anyway, I hope this was kind of helpful with a rundown of the James blade Barnes. If you have any questions or anything, let us know, and we'll be back with another video soon.